Masturbation.
Why are you watching?
What the fuck is that? Dude, we can't afford a John Williams fanfare. That shit's expensive.
Ah, fuck it. Just start the show.
What?
Holy shit, we're hiking in already.
Alright, we want to take a moment to respond to our comments. We're too lazy to type, so we're going to respond now.
Yeah. Which, sadly enough, we don't have a lot of comments.
That's because we're not famous. We're not even internet famous.
No. We suck ass.
Okay, so from episode 4...
The Manitowoc Slut Shame and the Oreo Haters episode.
Okay, what do we got?
We have a comment from Delana. I hope I'm not butchering that too bad.
Okay.
It says, my friends and I just watched this and we were laughing so hard. You guys are great. Are you from the Manitowoc area?
First off, thank you very much for your comment, Delana. We're in Green Bay. That's fine. We're in Green Bay.
Watch more episodes.
Comment more.
We also do have another comment on that episode from Johnny. It said it took me a bit to realize which of the three schools it was. I was just surprised to see that the only non-parochial school was the one that pulled this. I guess we should have emphasized that more.
Yeah, that's a very good point, John. We should have emphasized that more.
But even though we didn't and we should have, it's still fucking ridiculous.
But thanks for pointing out that it was the non-parochial high school.
Yeah, thanks for pointing out our inadequacies.
Once again.
Dick.
Did he have something else to say?
Well, he did reply to Delana's, which is just that we're from Green Bay.
Oh.
So
I didn't have to say that, because
No.
John did. Thanks for covering me, John. Alright, what's the other ones we got?
we have
Minimum wage, somebody said something to. What episode is that?
episode 6.2.
Minimum wage.
Once it gets up, there was another one too. Didn't I say that there was 3 of them?
Yeah. Silk Road's got some on.
Oh yeah.
And mandatory tipping. 4 of them. Okay, what else do we got? Mute that so we don't have to hear ourselves. I know what the fuck we said.
Well, come on. Well, apparently John had a few issues. Johnny from the last one, because he commented 3 times on this particular episode.
Okay.
They were all from a month ago. Was that?
You were on.
Was I on this one?
Minimum wage, 50. Yeah, it was
Oh,
you
yeah.
and Paulie fighting.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It was.
All right.
It was me and you against Eric and Paulie.
Right. Okay. All right.
Probably one of the few episodes
That
you
I
actually
had.
like, because someone was with you and not against you.
I was not on my own.
All right. They're all from a month ago, so I'll just read all 3 of them. There are also idiots like me who follow the idea of follow you passion, in quotes, when picking a field in college. I am far more self-aware than my fellow graduates, but there are a ton of music, arts, and teaching students who were shocked that there were no jobs waiting for them after graduation.
Yes, there are.
Don't
Isn't
they
that-
have counselors in college that are supposed to be telling you guys that too?
Yeah, but he's right. They do also
They tell you,
follow your
find a
passion.
job you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
It's true. If you can afford that lifestyle.
Right, and can find the job that you love.
I would, but there's a thing that got in the way called guilt and marriage.
And
being a
responsibility.
gigolo is illegal, because I would have loved the fuck out of that job.
Could have been a stunt cock for porn.
Oh.
They actually advertised for that in, when I was in college, they advertised in Rolling Stone magazine, and Todd and I considered applying. I don't have the physique for porn, and I'm fat.
Even a vagina fluffer, that'd been fine.
But But can you imagine that? First off, you just be like, stunt cock! And I couldn't do it because, and this was my reasoning, I'm like, I work at a restaurant now. Work at the custard shop. I don't want to see fucking custard when I get home. So can you imagine working in porn and just be like, oh God, honey, put that thing away. I've been looking at those for hours.
His next comment is, for a brief period in my life, I worked at a pizza place, and trust me when I say they could give a shit less if you got a lunch break or any sort of break on my 12-plus hour long shift. Blew my parents' minds when they found out the breaks were not mandatory in Wisconsin. There are a lot of places.
A lot of people's minds.
My place of employment, they could care less. Customers come first. Get the shit done.
Well, and Wisconsin doesn't require breaks for people over 18.
I will tell you that being hourly, and when I found out, they don't have to give you a break. But if you start taking
I think you actually said that during
your unpaid break, that they have to pay for the half an hour, that's when they started leaving me alone as soon as I punched out. But it's shit. There's a lot of places that your shit's got to get done. We don't give a fuck if you're not.
There are no breaks when you're salaried. Either. So.
Hey, sometimes when you're hourly, you're not.
Oh, who are you kidding? When you're salaried, it's all break. I'm just saying that because Paulie's not here, and that's what he would say.
It is true. He
Well,
would say
and as shitty as it sounds, I mean, he says he worked at a pizza place. I don't know if he was a delivery driver, but there's a lot of places I know. I know a particular guy that works in the automotive industry without working on cars, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And they do remote shit. You call them up, I need this, they go there, they put it in. It's a glass company. I can say that. It's a glass company. They sit there and they say, you're on your ass driving. That's your break. You know what I mean? So it sucks, but... And his last comment, seriously, that's what it says. Just saying.
Okay.
In an ideal world, businesses and corporations would take the profit hit to improve the job satisfaction under the expectation that employee quality increases. But we aren't in an ideal world, which is why communism doesn't work. And there is a reply, which I assume is going to be Johnny, but I'll click on it anyway. Yes, it is Johnny.
he replied to it.
So,
He replied to
you
himself.
bullshitted when you said last comment, John. Bullshit.
Still think $15 an hour is a pipe dream. Figure something like 8 or 9 an hour would be good, or something I could live on if I didn't need to make college payments. If you still get screwed on eventual inflation, which we all said that you
That's
will
what
still
happens.
get screwed. But yeah, he's. Thanks for the comments. Oh, look at that, we're laughing in that one. It's a rare occasion.
What? Which one?
We were laughing on that one.
Oh.
I was scrolling up to back up, and we were laughing on it. I would have known, but someone made me mute it. And on the mandatory tipping, which is episode 6.4, Mike commented that the guy on the right is really quiet.
Is that Paulie? Scroll up and see.
Let me fast forward a smidgen. That
Yeah.
would be Paulie.
He's
And
shy.
I believe this episode, Paulie watched it here. He even said, it looks like I'm sleeping. And I think he honestly did fell asleep for a little bit. But, yeah.
That's funny.
He's just shy.
There's certain stuff that gets him going, and we've tried it. It's usually when he's leaving, but we've tried it. He does get going. If you knew him, Mike, he'd never shut up. That's any kind. He's quieter on the show.
Oh, Johnny, our biggest fan. Thanks for posting, man.
On episode, the Silk Road episode, which is 6.5.
6, we got a lot of hits on from Johnny.
Well, 6 was the one where instead of editing all the stories down, I just took the pieces and we broke the episode up into like 5 parts.
John wrote, I could be wrong, but to my knowledge, you could only buy drugs on Silk Road. He made his money by charging sellers a fee for creating an account. I know that more sketchy things like hiring a hitman could be done on the dark net, but I'm not sure if it could be done on Silk Road.
We actually, in the story, discussed that, and it could not be done on Silk Road.
Well, and I do not believe we talked about there was...
They were not supposed to be done on Silk Road.
We had talked about a percentage of the sale, and he's saying that it's you can charge to create an account, which to me is different.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's not making as much.
Unless your accounts only last for one sale.
Right. Then he's making an ass ton. The next one is assuming that from Johnny again. Assuming that only drugs are on the line, I'm with Eric that a life sentence is ridiculous. Anything approaching hitman, then I do agree with everyone else.
I understand, John, but the reality is, as we discussed in the episode, you know, I personally am not in favor of a whole bunch of drug laws. I think you should legalize a lot of drugs and tax the shit out of them. Hey.
I don't think you'll have as many problems with them if you do that.
Plus, you show me a guy who's baked off his ass on pot, and unless you're a bag of Cheetos, I will show you a guy who's not bothering fucking anybody. But that being said, it's the rules. I don't write the fucking rules. I just play by them, usually, as far as you know. And so, you know, yeah, life sentence seems kind of harsh, but...
Yeah, we talked about that.
But you're facilitating illegal activity.
A lot of it.
A lot of it.
What is the definition of facilitating?
Allowing it to happen. Or allowing something to happen. But let's look at the legal definition.
I don't think it's allowing it to happen. That's
Or not allowing it to happen, but...
Because if you facilitate a hitman, you're hiring a hitman.
No.
Aren't
You're
trying to hire?
How do you define facilitate without using the word facilitate?
Ben will tell us in a second.
The act of assisting another to commit a crime by making it easier.
Right.
That is what he did by definition.
It is by definition.
Yep.
And depending on how many accounts he did, because...
What was lots of revenue, remember?
Well, not only is it lots
of revenue in Bitcoins.
Not only is it necessarily a lot of revenue, but how many people did it, and where were those people located? Not that he has any idea.
But it is the definition of facilitation.
Right, and then because he affiliate, or what the fuck's the word again? Facilitated sale of drugs. Because he is part of that, if someone were selling drugs close to a school, does then he get that part of that crime? Because I mean, if there were literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of this,
it
or
depends
thousands,
on if the individual jurisdictions go after him and if the state he was in actually would extradite him. Like for example, I live close to a school, so if I purchase drugs from him to then sell near the school, because he facilitated my crime, and Wisconsin says double fine, double time within 1,000 yards or whatever it is
right.
in school, you're asking would he also get double time, double crime?
Right.
Not being a lawyer, I would have to say I suspect that would be the case, assuming Wisconsin filed for extradition and New York had been willing to release him.
Well, even on the other aspect of it, even if he was in New York. Oh, that's right. We were talking about life sentences in
that
other
he
states.
should have gone somewhere else.
But if he had 1,000 accounts where people were actually buying drugs, that's technically 1,000 counts of facilitating drugs. And in the state of Wisconsin, the max for drugs not by a school is pretty fucking big.
Well, we mentioned that directly in the show because I said to Eric, let's say there's 1,000 people, let's say each one of them bought pot, let's say you only get a year for pot. If
that's
the
still
judge
1,000
makes
years.
them concurrent or consecutive instead of concurrent, that's 1,000 years. And let's face it, they hit this guy hard because they want to set an example so no one else does it.
Oh yeah.
That was it?
Yep, those are the only
That's it.
comments.
Well, thank you both for commenting.
No, there was
Oh,
Johnny,
3. I forgot Mike.
Mike, and Elena.
Thank all 3 of you for watching and for commenting. We appreciate it.
Watch more if Ben ever gets them up.
I was going to say, there's hardly anything I've
Hey.
ever talked about on there.
Hey, it's not something to be ashamed of anymore. They make medicine for that.